When someone tells you to never look into their eyes, you do it.
No?
Or do you? Have you ever met a beautiful woman and locked eyes with her, only to be mesmerized by what you saw? What if that woman was staring at you, not because she wanted to, but because she had to? Hello, everyone. I'm your host. Today's story is Mafia. Her eyes were still moving. Set in 1920s America. This story follows a man who finds himself falling for the daughter of a powerful crime boss after he is hired to kill her father. The moral of the story: never trust a woman, especially when her eyes are still moving after you shot her. Our story begins with a hitman named Thomas Malone, a man whose skills with a gun have made him feared and respected in equal measure. He is known for taking out targets without leaving a trace, his face obscured by a signature black fedora. One day, he gets a call from his friend and former police officer, Harry, who now works as an informant for the mob. Harry has a job for Tom, one that'll pay him handsomely if he can pull it off successfully. He wants Tom to eliminate Don Alto, a rising star in the criminal underworld and the head of his own family. In return, he will get a hefty sum of $100,000, a small fortune in those days. With his reputation on the line, Tom accepts the offer. He starts tailing Don Alto, learning his routines and watching his every move. His target lives a luxurious lifestyle, staying at the swankiest hotels and rubbing shoulders with the city's elite. But Tom knows better than to let appearances fool him. He's seen enough hardened criminals to spot the signs of danger even behind a facade of wealth and power. As he observes Don Alto, he sees a ruthless killer who is feared by his own men. During a tense moment, Tom witnesses a brutal murder orchestrated by Don Alto, solidifying his resolve to take the man down. The day of the hit finally arrives. Tom prepares himself mentally and physically, knowing that there will be no second chances in this game. He sets up his position, waiting patiently for the perfect moment to strike. When the coast is clear, he makes his move, bursting through the door and confronting Don Alto. A fierce struggle ensues. But Tom's skills with a gun are too much for Don Alto to handle. In a dramatic showdown, Tom manages to overpower him and end his life. With the hit complete, Tom disappears into the night, leaving the police and the rival crime families to wonder who was responsible. He returns to his apartment, the weight of his actions settling upon him. As the adrenaline rush fades, he is left contemplating the gravity of what he has just done. Suddenly, a knock at the door shatters the silence. Startled, Tom hides the murder weapon, his heart pounding in his chest. Who could it be at this hour? Could someone have witnessed the crime? His mind races with possibilities as he cautiously approaches the door, unsure of what lies beyond. As he opens the door, he is confronted by a woman, her presence both alluring and intimidating. Her name is Isabella, and she is the daughter of the Don. She looks at Tom, her eyes filled with a mixture of emotions: disbelief, anger, and perhaps something else that Tom cannot quite decipher. Without a word, she steps into his apartment, her gaze sweeping over the room as if searching for something. Tom, still reeling from the events of the night, struggles to find his voice. He tries to speak, but the words catch in his throat. He can't believe that Isabella has found him. How did she find him? Why is she here? Questions that need answers. She turns her piercing gaze back to him, and in a voice that is surprisingly firm, demands to know why her father is dead. Tom is torn. On one hand, he is a professional who prides himself on his ability to remain emotionless behind his mask. Yet looking into Isabella's eyes, he sees a vulnerability that tugs at his heartstrings. He knows that the truth will only bring him more trouble, but he also cannot bear to see the pain in her eyes. Caught in a web of deceit, Tom finds himself torn between his loyalty to his profession and the growing feelings he has for Isabella. As the night deepens, he must decide how much of himself he is willing to reveal, knowing that his every move is under scrutiny. Isabella paces the room restlessly, her eyes never leaving Tom's face. She is determined to get to the bottom of her father's death, and she suspects that this mysterious stranger is somehow involved. Tom sits quietly, his thoughts racing. He knows that he can't keep secrets from Isabella for long, but he also doesn't want to reveal everything all at once. He carefully chooses his words, trying to buy time and figure out a way to navigate this situation. Hours pass, and the tension in the room is palpable. Isabella, unable to contain herself any longer, confronts Tom directly, demanding answers. Tom, torn between his duty as a hitman and his growing affection for Isabella, decides to come clean. He reveals his true identity and explains how he was hired to kill her father. Isabella is shocked. She never would have guessed that the man she had trusted with her father's killer would be the one who had actually carried out the hit. But amidst the shock and betrayal, a new question arises. Why did Tom spare her? Isabella's mind races, trying to understand the motives behind Tom's actions. She knows that her father was a ruthless killer, but she never imagined that he would have someone so close to him killed. As the night wears on, Isabella realizes that she might be in danger as well. If her father's killer is still out there, then he might want to silence her too. She looks at Tom, trying to gauge his reaction and wondering what his next move will be. Tom sees the fear and confusion in Isabella's eyes and feels a surge of protectiveness towards her. Despite being a hitman, he is not a monster, and he finds himself caring about the young woman who has been caught in her father's dangerous world. To protect her, Tom decides to help her escape the city. Together, they devise a plan to flee, knowing that it is the best way to ensure her safety. In the early hours of the morning, Tom helps Isabella pack a small bag containing only the essentials. They sneak out of the apartment, careful to avoid detection. As they make their way through the deserted streets, the weight of their situation presses down on them. They know that they are not only running from danger, but also from the past that Isabella's father has created. Just when they think they have gotten away, they hear the sirens wailing in the distance. The police are on their trail. Tom and Isabella run, their hearts pounding in their chests. The image of the city they are leaving behind forever seared into their memories. Keep running until they reach a point where they can't outrun the law anymore. Cornered and desperate, they hide in an abandoned warehouse, hoping that the police will eventually give up the search. As the days turn into weeks, Tom and Isabella grow closer. They share stories about their lives before the mob, dreams for the future, and the fears that haunt their present. They find solace in each other's company, knowing that they have each other to rely on in this uncertain world. One evening, while exploring the warehouse, Isabella stumbles upon a hidden room. Inside, she finds a stash of weapons and ammunition. This discovery gives her a sense of security, knowing that they have the means to defend themselves if needed. However, she also worries about the implications of Tom being a hitman. Does she really trust him, or is he hiding something from her? Meanwhile, the police are closing in on the warehouse. They have received a tip-off and are now searching every inch of the building for the missing hitman and his companion. Tom, sensing danger, prepares to fight his way out. He knows that if he is caught, he won't hesitate to use deadly force. As the police enter the warehouse, a fierce battle ensues. Gunshots echo through the building as Tom and the police exchange fire. Isabella, armed with a gun she found in the hidden room, joins the fight, her determination to protect herself and Tom growing stronger with each passing moment. The air is thick with tension as the fate of Tom and Isabella hangs in the balance. In the midst of the chaos, Tom is injured. Blood trickles down his arms, staining the floor. Isabella, desperate to help, rushes to his side. Despite the danger, she manages to bandage his wound, her touch gentle yet firm. And in that moment, their bond deepens, and Isabella realizes that she has fallen in love with the enigmatic hitman. As the police close in, Tom and Isabella make a daring escape, leaving the warehouse behind them and disappearing into the vastness of the city. They know that they can't stay in the city any longer and decide to flee to a different state. As they drive away, they steal one last glance at the city, knowing that they will never return. In the weeks that follow, Tom and Isabella settle into their new lives in anonymity. They find solace in each other's company, building a love that is strong enough to withstand the challenges they have faced. Isabella, with her spirit unbroken, finds ways to contribute to their survival, proving that she is more than just the daughter of a crime boss. And so their journey continues, testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring power of love in the face of adversity. But let's be honest, folks, you knew this story wasn't over, right? As time went on, Isabella and Tom lived a simple life far from the clutches of the mob. They built a small house on the outskirts of town and started a family. But the peace they had found was shattered one day when two men showed up at their doorstep. These men were from the rival crime family who had taken over the territory left by Isabella's father's gang. They offered Tom and Isabella a choice: either join the family or face the consequences. Torn between his desire for peace and his loyalty to his late friend, Tom refused their offer. He stood firm, determined to protect his family and their newfound freedom. This decision enraged the men, and they threatened to destroy everything Tom and Isabella had worked so hard to build. With his family's safety at risk, Tom knew he had to take action. Couldn't let these men threaten the ones he loved. So he did what he did best: disappear. He vanished without a trace, leaving behind the only life he had ever known. Now, years later, Isabella and her children live in constant fear of the rival crime family. They have heard rumors that the men are looking for Tom. They know that if they find him, nothing will stop them from taking revenge. One night, as Isabella is tucking her children into bed, she finds a hidden compartment in their home. Inside, she discovers a letter from Tom and a photograph of him holding a gun. The letter explains that he had to go into hiding again, but assures Isabella that he will always be with her in spirit. The photograph, however, sends a chill down her spine. It shows Tom holding a gun that looks eerily familiar. Determined to uncover the truth, Isabella sets out to find Tom. She travels to the places they used to visit, hoping to find some clue that can lead her to him. Along the way, she meets people who knew Tom, trying to piece together his whereabouts. As she digs deeper, she uncovers a secret that Tom had managed to keep hidden for years. It turns out that the gun Tom is holding in the photograph is the same one he used to kill Isabella's father. But why? Was he protecting her family all along? Or does he have a more sinister motive? Haunted by this revelation, Isabella continues her search. She needs answers, and she won't rest until she finds Tom. The story concludes with Isabella finally tracking down Tom. The reunion is filled with emotions, and Isabella confronts him about the hidden truth. Tom, with a heavy heart, reveals the real reason behind killing Isabella's father. He confesses that he was framed by the rival crime family, forcing him to eliminate Isabella's father to protect himself. Overwhelmed with emotion, Isabella realizes that she may have misjudged Tom. Despite his past as a hitman, he had shown nothing but love and devotion towards her and their family. As they embrace, they know that their bond has only grown stronger through this ordeal. The story ends on a note of forgiveness and understanding, emphasizing the importance of communication and trust in relationships.